Formula E. King, you got a little bit of news for us based on the Abt team that have been in the series the last few years. Of course, we know Abt always affiliated with Audi. It was only a matter of time before Audi themselves got involved in this venture, and they are.
Yes. Well, Audi and Abt have announced that starting next season, the 2017-2018 season, Abt will be the factory Audi team.
Wow, that's big news. And this all coincides with, we were talking about this before we went live, the whole idea that Formula E, after this initial 3-year first thing where all the teams are based at Donington and everything's kept quite spec, it's going to start opening up after this season, isn't it? So, teams are going to start moving away to like other bases. Like, just tell us how you think it's going to change things up after this initial 3-year period. Yeah,
after this 3-year period where teams, number one, don't have to be based at Donington Park anymore. Formula E are kind of finding that a bit annoying, but also a bit helpful because, number one, they kind of don't want to test at Donington Park anymore because they feel like after 2 years of racing, they feel like Donington Park is not really representative of the circuits they actually race at.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like a permanent race circuit. It's nothing like the street circuits they race on for the most part.
I forget, they brought up a couple of alternatives in, I think, in Spain or France, of smaller circuits that are more comparable to street circuits. Like the only problem at those circuits is mainly facilities and transportation because they're in the middle of nowhere. And for the teams, this is more appealing to manufacturers because they want their own base, their own facilities where they can really put 110% of these cars. And a lot of manufacturers are now getting really interested now that we don't have to be based in Donington Park. Like, yes, Jaguar have entered the sport for this season. BMW are very interested in joining Formula E. So it could really open up more manufacturers coming in, but it might really, disadvantage the smaller teams who like being able to, like being guaranteed the same facilities as, Renault.
I see what you mean. Yeah, it feels to me like this is the first 3 years where they wanted to keep things quite close in Formula E, keep things under control, get that solid first few seasons under their belt, which they have done. But it feels like after season 3, it's almost like take the stabilizers off. You're on your own now, lads. And my question to you, King, can Formula E survive a season if one team comes out and are as dominant as Mercedes are right now in Formula 1? Could they survive that?
Oh, I want to say yes, but I honestly don't know. And I'm a bit worried because it might be this year. So, even before the end of that 3 years, it could be there could be a big gap there. So because Sebastian Buemi and Renault have completely decimated testing. They are the hands down favorites to win this year's championship.
Blimey.
Formula E, it's harder to run away because you do have safety car periods. It's not like F1 where you're praying for a safety car to happen. Safety car
street circuits, you're always going to get attrition.
Yeah. So the problem is anyone going to be able to make the best of the opportunities to win when they get them?
Yeah. So and also this is also not taking into account the fact that their support series for the next season is going to be robot drone racing effectively, which, if that goes too well, could probably dominate Formula E altogether and remove the need for drive. Anyway, not talking about the future. The future scares me.
I don't think I was here. Did you guys talk about Robo Race before? Because